So A is -2, -3, and B is 1, 3, and they're 2 points, and we want to find in general form the equation, first of all, of the line through A and B. So I'm going to call this one x1, y1, and this one x2, y2, and we're going to need the gradient. So that's going to be y2 take away y1 over x2 take away x1. So that's -3 take away 3 over -2 take away 1. So that's -6 over -3, which gives me 2. So y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. So y take away 3 is going to be 2, x take away 1. So y minus 3 equals 2x minus 2, giving us y, we want it in general form, sorry. So first of all, bring the y over here, and we've got -3 is 2x, take away y, take away 2, and then add the 2 to both sides. So 2x, take away y is -1. So we want the line parallel to AB that passes through 2, 2. Now if it's parallel, it's got the same gradient. So it's got a gradient of 2. So we could actually go through this process just up here again using the gradient of 2 and this point as x1, y1, but we don't actually need to do that, because what's actually going to change if the gradient is the same, the 2x minus y is going to be the same, but the number on this side is going to be different. So I'm going to just say 2x minus y equals d, and then use the point. So x is 2, so that would be 4, and y is 2 equals d, so d equals 2. So it's actually going to have 2x minus y. It'll have the same left-hand side because we've got the same gradient, but now that is equal to 2. Now we want the line perpendicular to AB that passes through B. So the gradient of AB we know was 2. The gradient for the perpendicular would be -1/2. It's always such that the gradients multiply to give you -1 if the things are perpendicular. So now we've got a gradient of -1/2, and it passes through B, and B was the point 1, 3. So y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. So y take away 3 equals -1/2 x take 1. Now bring the 2 up here and multiply. 2y minus 3 equals negative x take 1. So 2y take away 6 is minus x plus 1. Bring the minus x to this side, becomes plus, so we've got x plus 2y. And bring the -6 onto this side, so we add it on, so x plus 2y equals 7. And now we want the perpendicular bisector of AB. So if it's perpendicular to AB, once again the gradient is -1/2, and if it bisects, it goes through the midpoint. So let's go back and looking at what our points were. -2, -3. So we've got -2, -3, and 1, 3. So the midpoint there, average the x-coordinates, -2 add 1 divided by 2, -3 add 3 divided by 2. So that gives us -1/2 and 0. So y minus y1 is mx minus x1. So y take away 0, so that's just y. Gradient's -1/2. X take away -1/2 becomes x plus 1/2. So bring the 2 up over here and multiply. We've got 2y is negative x plus a half. So 2y is going to be minus x minus a half. Bring the x over, x plus 2y is negative a half. Now generally, when we're writing equations in this form, the constants are always integers, the whole numbers. So multiply 3 by 2 here, and we've got 2x plus 4y is negative 1, and that's much more likely to be given in general form.